This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
And we're back at Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies. I'm Cody, and with me are Kyle and Ken.
Hello again.
Hello, everyone. No new news to report this week. No movie stuff. Nothing's changed. Everything's
Nothing to see here. Head on in.
Everything's peachy.
Or head on by. Yeah.
Everything's just swell.
Well, it's beautiful weather. We're getting into fall. The leaves are changing. Have you been outside, people? It's beautiful.
Cody's
Beautiful.
95% sure that leaves kill the COVID too.
Yeah, and they're starting to fall.
Just the chemical coming off the leaves changing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it works?
Yep, it's the beautiful colors. It's like rays of sunshine coming into your body to kill the COVID.
Well, I really hope that
from
does
the
work,
leaves.
because I'm not liking all this movie news.
No.
We lied, people. There's a lot of stuff to cover.
You lied to me all week?
Yeah.
No, everything's fine. Everything's fine, everyone.
Yeah. Don't look at silverscreeninsider.com. Don't look at any news and updates.
Yeah. Way to go, Cody. Tell people not to go to the website that this podcast is promoting. Nice
Just
job.
don't look at the announcement section.
Don't look on here. There's no news that we cover.
Don't look at it.
No, look at it. Look at it, people. See the devastation firsthand.
Well, don't scare them away.
Sorry.
There's a fine line.
I'm not.
Sheesh.
I don't know where the line is anymore.
Yeah,
I don't want to be a fear monger, but
It's kind of scary.
I don't want to be a propagandist either.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
Shut up, Ken. All right. So, yeah, big news. Everybody's well aware. James Bond, No Time to Die, left Thanksgiving.
Before we start this, I think we should
Left
all
Thanksgiving.
take a tact. You should be the straight person who just gives us the release date
Okay.
Kyle's going to be super positive about it and find something good in this release date update.
Okay.
And I am going to play Negative Nancy.
Okay.
All
All right, let's try it.
Let's see how this works.
All right. No Time to Die has moved from Thanksgiving of 2020 to April 2nd, 2021.
Well, that's 2 days before my birthday, so I'm at least happy that I could possibly get a Bond movie in a theater.
Yay, a birthday present.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you freaking kidding me, Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind? You're going to move off Thanksgiving for a April release?
April Fools.
April is not Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's going to be April Fools when I show up at your house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? Daniel Craig's now on my shit list next to Jordan Peele, people.
Okay, I don't think it's Daniel Craig's fault.
He is on my shit list because he went on Conan or one of those places and said it's just not the right time right now. It's fine, Daniel Craig. Fine.
Fine you, Daniel Craig.
That was yeah.
I'm out of Daniel Craig fines to give.
Yeah. So Daniel Craig can go find himself.
Back to the straight man.
Okay. Oh, let's see. Soul, also on Thanksgiving 2020, is now moving to Disney Plus and bypassing the theatrical release.
It's a Christmas gift from Disney, you guys, and boy, I hope you'll love it. Not being in the theater, but I hope you love it.
Because you don't have to spend the $30 extra, right, Kyle?
That's true. They're not doing that $30 stupid dumb idea that they did with Mulan.
Even double the gift.
Yep. Gift that keeps on giving from Disney.
I'm going to take that mouse and put him under the sole of my shoe and end this right now. We all knew this was coming. This was going to happen. Like, we kind of knew this was happening.
Right.
Whether it was going to move off of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we were hoping that it would move off Thanksgiving to Christmas, which would be even better.
Doing this just took the wind out of our sails this week. We got this news yesterday, late afternoon, and it was just you knew it was going to happen. It was watching a car crash. You were just waiting for the brakes to fail, and then it happened.
And then you lied to yourself, and I lied to all you, and I said, well, maybe it won't happen because they assured us that they were not going to put this movie to Disney Plus, and that was all rumor and speculation. But we all knew it was the thing. That's what they were gonna do with it.
I hate to go away from my positive stance here, but even in the back of my mind, I was like, we'll see if that actually happens.
It lasted a release date and a half, guys. That's how we're going today. I thought for sure Kyle could pull it off, but he fell out of character.
Yeah.
My eye twitched, and I was really stretching for that positive spin on Seoul. So
No, it just shows that Disney has not done nothing for exhibitors during this. I mean, other than
people keep saying that they have been, but it's not necessarily true.
no, they've been throwing a few like bones out there and as cover for when they take their prime pieces away off the table.
Yeah, it's just some scraps, and they have really great scraps they can hand out.
Right.
But then with these Disney movies upcoming through October, it was a great thing to do, but it should happen every year.
Yeah.
It should happen all the time. It shouldn't be this year. This shouldn't be the first time we've been able to play Hocus Pocus since the 90s.
No.
But then with the big announcement this week, Alita is going to be available on October 30th.
Oh, thank you, Disney.
Yeah. Does anybody even remember what that grossed?
Alita
No.
Battle Angel?
Yeah. Yeah. Not the good, not Akira, the good one.
Yeah.
All right, what else is up?
Okay, so then we have the 355 moving into January 15th, 2021. We have Dune moving out of December into October 2021. And I wonder if that is the Dune movie done. I know they had a trailer, but could that have been a special effects issue?
I guess. I mean, I've kind of been on the assumption that it is pretty wrapped up in production.
Right. Maybe it's just a New York, LA, not having theaters open
Could have been.
situation.
Probably plays a big role.
Sony moved up Monster Hunter to December 30th, 2020. So that, I was kind of surprised by seeing that move forward in the release schedule. Escape Room 2, which had that date, is now unset. So it's been taken off the release schedule and they don't have a new date.
Yeah, probably will be in 2021 at some point.
Yeah. Jurassic World Dominion moved from June 2021 to June 2022. And that makes sense because their production just got shut down again for COVID.
Yeah, it might take a
On
while,
set.
folks. We might not be seeing dinosaurs for a while.
What kind of hot virus-filled jungle are they filming that into? These are always filmed in Hawaii or Mexico.
Well, those would only take 2 days. The rest of the time, it's just all special effects, right?
Yeah.
Can't take that long.
The Batman movie moved out of October 2021, which obviously we weren't going to get a Batman this October, into March of 2022. I feel like that is... we're not going to get Batman next October. It's moved into 2022.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. Sorry. With their production coming down because Robert Pattinson got COVID. I can't imagine that was going to go anytime next year either.
Yeah, no, it's going to be delays on top of delays, and the DC universe is apparently a COVID hotspot with these release dates coming up. Everybody's got it or is susceptible to it.
Right.
And then apparently we're still getting a Flash movie, but not till November of 2022. And I just don't see that happening. But
I'm sure they'll push it back. They always find a way with this movie.
And then Shazam 2 is going to be in 2023. I'm like, is anybody going to want a Shazam 2 movie by then? But I don't know. There's a shelf life on these things, people.
Yeah. At this point, the little boy is about to become a 20-year-old. You
Yeah.
know?
You're going to have to recast
loses its luster after a while.
Yeah. And then Black Adam is just completely off the release schedule. I'm like, are they even still making that movie?
Dwayne Johnson will find a way.
To make that?
He may have recovered from COVID, but he'll find a way.
He's going to do the Tyler Perry thing and buy a county in Georgia and just set it up there to film it on his own.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then
carry everybody in on his back one at a time.
Promising Young Women is moving to Christmas Day of this year. So check that out. And then that's it.
Yeah, for Promising Young Woman, there's a new trailer for it, which among many other trailers, it's up at silverscreeninsider.com if you want to check that out.
Yeah, if you want to bypass the news, go check out the trailers. They're super easy to view right there on the homepage.
Yeah.
Nice job, guys. That was the best one you guys have done since I've been here. I was very
True.
impressed.
It's usually a cluster of words.
No, it was beautiful.
Thank you, Ken.
Hats off to you guys. That was excellent.
Thank you. So what's our booking strategy moving forward, guys? What are we gonna do?
Scream.
Scream.
Cry.
Scream, cry.
Panic.
After the
Well,
screaming, the
maybe not.
crying, the thumb sucking, the fetal position, all of that. What do? We dust ourselves off and we go looking for content. And so luckily we've been trying to add as many new, interesting, out there films as we can to the database to give ideas to people. I know that that Entertainment Studios Motion Pictures has increased their print count for 2 Hearts next week, so I got a bunch of locations for that. So
And Honest Thief 2 from Briarcliff for next week has gotten back to us on an incredible amount of dates, more than we ever expected.
More than we expected. So
What about the Wolf of Snow Creek? Did that improve? Was that a typo?
100
Darn it.
prints there.
Dang it, guys.
I didn't even follow up with them. I was
No,
just like,
yeah.
that's so ridiculous. What if they if they double it?
Yeah.
Still never gonna see a print.
We were hoping that it was 1,000
And it
instead
was-
of 100, so I sent back 3 question marks and got the response, yes, 100. No capitalization, no punctuation. Yes, 100.
Beaten animal.
Because
Yes.
they knew they were responding. There's nothing else to say.
Why even make a trailer for that? I mean, it's not going to be anywhere.
Unlike other movies, The Kid Detective.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Which is going to be released soon, but
So
like
we
next
did-
week.
we
Release
did
soon.
get word.
Yeah, maybe before the trailer comes out, actually.
Well, okay, there's no trailer, but it's clearly a children's movie, right?
No.
The Kid Detective. It's not?
It's a rated R.
What? How?
Because it's an adult. It's an adult former child detective who still is doing child detective cases.
Was it?
That actually sounds hilarious. That does sound really funny.
He's hungover and gross because he's a former child detective.
No, I was trying to figure out what this was and then read the synopsis, and I'm like, please let this be played by Macaulay Culkin.
That would be
He
awesome.
would be the ultimate hungover.
He would be the
He
only
was.
one I would want to watch in that.
Do we even know who's in it yet?
I know it's Adam Brody.
Who's supposed to be 30? Isn't he like 50 years old?
I don't think he's that old.
He's
Maybe
not
like
that
40.
old.
He's got to be in his 40s, though.
Yeah. But that's perfect, though.
Mid to late 40s.
Honestly,
playing a 30-year-old.
If it wasn't
God.
McCulkin, it would probably be Adam Brody. That would probably be
Yeah.
the next guy to do it. But still, there's no trailer for that? Come
There's
on.
no trailer. There are no one sheets. There may be a trailer. You may get it on your trail
There's
mix.
title art. We have title art for it up at Silver Screen
Oh,
Insider.
there's title art.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to
That's
post that,
people.
be
That's
my
font.
guest.
That is just font. They got a font.
Yes.
For it. They don't even give. They haven't even give us a publicity still. No one could have taken an iPhone picture
Actually,
on set.
we did get that today.
Did we finally?
Yep, that is
Okay.
true.
There was,
Take it back. Somebody shot an iPhone
But
picture.
still, we need a trailer.
yeah.
yeah. We got
to
that
get
same,
this stuff out
same
there.
goofy surprise with Empty Man, where it comes out in 2 weeks now, 2
And
Fridays,
We
and
still don't have
anything.
anything from them. on
Literally
that.
anything. They're
No.
like, you can put tickets up for sale.
Right. So at Silver Screen Insider, we like to, if we get anything, we like to get it from the studios directly, and if not, through their direct channels. So we don't post anything on our site that doesn't come through one of those official means. And so until we get something from them, I think stuff exists out there. And I think there is a trailer now on Trail Mix, but they've not sent us anything directly that we could link to through one of their official sites that they so we just don't have it.
I had a theater tell me yesterday that they received a trailer for Empty Man on their trail mix. So I
Yeah.
contacted someone at Disney to say, hey, is this available? Because someone got on their trail mix. Disney sales did not know there was a trailer yet.
I love the scoop.
So I was like, I felt like Adam Schefter on ESPN. I felt like I was,
Yeah.
I got the inside track on this one. I felt like I was breaking
Who should I
news.
tell it to? I know.
Walter Cronkite over here.
Well, good luck on talking to Exhibitor Relations on that.
So there's definitely stuff that is being released, and I think we've noticed that a lot more, especially this week. It seems like
Oh.
we're getting a lot of like smaller titles and whatnot coming
just
in.
thrown out there with no like assets, no graphics, now no trailers.
Exactly.
I didn't even think it was possible. I thought it's laughable that they would be like, here's a movie. There's not a trailer or anything, but you should book it.
I know we're in weird times and we're just trying to see whatever works, but we at least need to know what whatever is.
I know.
You know, like, that's just the bottom line. Like we are throwing stuff out, but we can't just throw stuff that we don't have
Right.
a clue what it is.
I mean, I get it. Like on
Yeah.
Kid Detective, I had a synopsis, I had a rating, I had a fairly good idea of what it could be, but I just not comfortable
Yeah.
without at least a trailer.
Yeah.
Just being like, what is this?
You got to know it doesn't have an M. Night Shyamalan twist where all of a sudden he's investigating a brothel
Yeah.
or he's chopping up these kids he's
Yeah, is it
investigating.
a horror movie?
It turns out he's the
or-
murderer.
It's being released in October. Anything's on the table.
Right.
You never know. And we've had that happen before where people weren't ready with all the materials when something was going to be released, but it was from a random distributor or it was from
Yeah.
an individual producer or filmmaker, not from Sony, not from Disney.
Oh,
Like, how does it make it makes my head hurt just imagining that that's possible, that we
Well-
would be required to take dates and put our theaters at risk of playing something. And it's not like we get screeners for all these films ahead of time to
No.
review and make sure that it's appropriate for all of our locations.
no. You have to go in faith, and you have to make an educated guess. But you do that with materials present. You just do it with that, and to not have that is crazy. And I feel so bad for Sony sales because they're trying so hard, and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But you know, you can't. A Kid Detective makes it sound like it's a kids movie.
Oh yeah, and you think families are paying attention
Like
to
Harriet
ratings?
the Spy.
No.
Like Kid Detective sounds like a Harriet the Spy movie.
It reminds me of Encyclopedia Brown. Do you remember those stories at all?
Yeah, we had that Nancy Drew thing last year. That was kind of a weird
And the
release.
Secret of the Staircase or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's all these. Yeah.
It's more likely that it would be a kids movie than it would be a rated R,
9 times out of 10.
washed up,
Like maybe if you called
alcoholic adult
If
detective.
the title was Spiffy McGee, former kid detective, now drunk, like
Yeah.
then we'd be like, okay, maybe this is not, PG, but
How about
the
just,
kid detective is very misleading.
just
It's
take
so
the
misleading.
obvious kid detective, like the bad kid detective, and
Yeah.
then you know, like, it's going to be an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to have crude humor. There might be some nudity, but you're not going to get blown out of the water. But without a trailer from Sony, I don't know what you do.
So in terms of booking strategies, then things are a bit tough to strategize when we got
yeah. And
pretty much nothing.
And then if you don't take the date, it's like you're not supporting them. Well, you got to be kind of protective of your theater at this point.
Yeah.
Like you can't just put anything in there just because there's nothing else really available right now. Like I don't know. There's
They're
got to be a
struggling to begin
quality
with.
control a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if a theater doesn't know what they're about to play, how do you think they're going to draw in audiences? They can't
Yeah.
just be like, "Hey, come to our theater. What's there?" I don't know. Let's find
know.
out.
That's not how that works. And
Yeah.
like you said, how are audiences supposed to come to this? I mean, there's nothing that the theater can even promote with right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
So your biggest crowds are Friday, Saturday. You can't play the trailer for Friday and Saturday crowds for people that are willing to come out to be involved with other people and tell them, hey, I saw this great trailer. There's no way to promote. So if you do get it on Monday and start it on Monday, then you have no crowd seeing it or your limited crowd seeing it, and there's no promotion behind it. You're not playing
Yeah.
it for weeks. You're playing it for days beforehand.
yep, that's not enough in this time right now. So
Not enough.
It's not enough. Any other booking strategies that we need to discuss? We are gonna look into a holiday film series and try to pick out some of those really good holiday film repertory films, and that hopefully we'll eat up a screen or two there.
Yeah, but this week we've got War with Grandpa, which we're so excited about. We've heard a few pre-sales at some locations, and
yeah,
in the same vein, kind of as Playing with Fire, where it's a live-action movie made for kids,
right.
which will be fun to see.
Well, and that all audiences can go to.
Yeah.
So that should be good. And then next week we've got Honest Thief and Two Hearts and Love and Monsters, and we've got quite a bit of product next week. I think looking at it overall, theaters are probably okay through the end of this month. Through the end of October, we've got enough. But man, with that stuff moving out at the end of November, November's looking very weak. And I don't know what's going to come up. I don't know how the election's going to change things, if people are going to want to go out that first week.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, that's just, November's just way up in the air now.
I know I'll be hiding in my bunker.
I know.
Waiting to see whatever
With our
possible
rations.
outcome.
With our rations and our security and our bunker.
And send the smallest child out to see how things are going.
You're faster, kid. Go.
Go get a newspaper. Come back.
We need fire starter.
Oh, speaking of ducking and running, we have
Hey,
the,
that's a good transition.
we have the news from Regal and Cineworld this week.
Yeah. So Regal has announced that they are going to temporarily shut down their theaters in North America and in Europe until product comes. But this is just so completely frustrating. I get it. Like, it's expensive to keep these multiplexes open. And with nobody coming in, you're barely making enough money to cover utilities to run the projectors, the lights. And in a lot of the... in the northern states, it's starting to get cold. Now you've got heating bills put on top of this. I mean, you really need a certain amount of people to be in there to make it feasible operations wise. So I get that. But by having the number 2 theater chain closed, this just giving the studios more reason not to put product on the release schedule. So, you've got Regal saying, well, we can't be open because there's no movies to show. But you've got the studios saying, well, we're not going to put our movies out there if the theaters aren't open and the number 2 theater chain isn't open right now.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
they're only gonna think about the theater chains. They're not thinking about
no, they don't care.
The smaller guys.
They don't care that all the independents could be open across the entire U.S. If Regal's closed, then
why bother?
Why bother? Exactly. Yeah. And so we're just at this mercy of this horrible catch-22 that we're just living in right now.
Yeah, no, this whole idea of theaters closing and movies being pushed back is a snowball rolling downhill. And Unhinged slowed it down a little bit, and New Mutants slowed it down a little bit, and Tenet slowed it down a little bit more, and then the hill got steep again.
Yeah, because there was nothing there to slow it down even further.
And we're doing that, and hopefully one of these films in these weeks is going to do a number that surprises somebody and bring something back. But it's a very steep hill until we get to 11/20, and after that, it's very steep through the end of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about the normal grossing that you're looking at for Thanksgiving with nothing there.
No,
nothing there to slow it down.
You really only have 2 times the year where theaters make their money. Summer, when all the kids are out of school, and the holidays, again, when all the kids are out of school and families are together. Summer and the holiday corridor, and that's where the big movies get put in, and that's where theaters make up their money. And that's just, we've given up summer this year, and now it looks like we're going to give up the holidays. We have given up the most lucrative time in our season, and I don't know how people are going to survive that moving forward.
Yeah. I feel bad for all those employees. Like, by the sounds of the reports, like, they pretty much blindsided their employees with this news. Like, they did this with, like, a news outlet or something, and all the employees are saying, they're going like, well, could you have given us a warning at least? Because it sounds like they had no clue at all. They were they probably knew, like, it wasn't looking good for Regal, and that might come to that, but they didn't know when. No. So that's also just another frustrating aspect of it too.
Yeah, that these decisions are made on such a level, and there's no courtesy extended to the people that are affected by this.
Yeah.
That's why we encourage you to support your local independent theater or independent theater chain.
Yep.
Because they, we work with these people directly and know they all not only care about the presentation and the patrons and the concessions, but they care about their employees.
Yeah.
And it's all, built on a very small level.
And it also sounds like the Save Your Cinema campaign is getting another boost again. Like, people are being urged to, write to Congress and tell them, like, we need help here in this industry. So be sure to keep spraying that campaign as well. Get the word out that we need to really support these little guys, especially now with this Regal news.
Oh, I know. It's not surprising. There really is not any product to play, and I get it, but things are not going to turn around. I can't make Regal stay open. But it's just one more excuse, one more reason for studios not to put their product out that they can use to not put their product out.
No bond move for whatever reason it was, which can be partially blamed for Regal closing. Regal closing can be partially blamed for Seoul moving.
Yeah.
Seoul moving can be partially blamed for the next thing, whatever it was, whether it's a film or a theater chain. It's just this self-fulfilling prophecy that keeps happening because more things keep moving. Nobody's going to make money on this. Theaters or film companies for the foreseeable future until everybody loses money on this.
Yeah.
Now, the theaters are losing money on this daily. The film companies are losing money on this, whether they think it or not, by not putting their movies out.
Right.
If you're sitting on it, you're wasting that money. It's going away. The promotion that you've already spent is going away. And when the markets reopen, New York and LA, they're still going to want to see Unhinged and New Mutants and Tenet. Because nobody's driving hours to see these things. Nobody ever has.
No, they've always.
That's why there's not
close.
one theater in New York City and one in Chicago and one in LA.
Yeah.
That's why they're in small towns near you. That's why they spread out.
No. It's just gonna be challenging, and we've got to basically when these films do come out, it's like rebuilding the whole idea of going to the movies from the ground up again. We won't have the 100-year tradition of people going, because now for the first time ever there have been no movies, and so our movie-going habits have fundamentally been altered. And it's been argued that they've been altered for a long time with the advent of streaming, but that's really changed this now. And so when movies come back, you as a theater owner can't rely on the idea that that if the movies are there, people will come. No, you've got to educate and entice and bring back that whole audience. You've got to build it back up from nothing. It's like you're a brand new business and a brand new industry moving forward. And that rebuilding process is going to be painful and expensive and hurt. And people are not going to be making the money they used to make. And I don't know, if studios are willing to go that route or just pour everything they have into direct to consumer, programs, which is their streaming. And it doesn't help when you have activist investors for some of these companies writing letters saying that the company should get out of film and get out of theaters and go direct to consumer. So there's a lot of pressures from a lot of different people outside our industry that are having such an impact on our industry. And it's just so unfortunate that some Wall Street hedge funder can, dictate what we do with our industry because they think that they can get a payout somewhere.
It sure does take the fun out of movies.
It does. And I loved going to Tenet in the theater. Mm-hmm. That's been my one and only movie I've seen in the theater this whole year is Tenet. And I enjoyed it and I loved it and I missed it. And I was really looking forward to, War with Grandpa and maybe taking our kids to it. But we have a Regal here and there's no other real options. And now it's shutting down. So, it's just so sad.
It's definitely a trying time, but you have to use everything at your disposal, especially with a service like Silver Screen Insider, where you can jump in and find all these obscure films that are now going to be in the top 10 and the top 20, and find things that you can book without a minimum or with extra promotion behind it and see who's pushing.
Right.
You're going to see ads this week.
But you're going to need the graphics because you're going to have to make social media advertising.
You might have to create your own posters for some of these.
Yeah.
It's not we're not talking,
they're not available.
We're not talking about, there's...
If you still have poster cases out front, you may have to print your own posters for this stuff now and do all your own marketing and do all the things that was kind of what the studios were supposed to be doing on the national level. You're going to have to do it locally and try to bring people in on these things.
Yep. And educate yourself on being able to take a trailer and turn it into a format you can use on your server and projector.
Yep.
Because they may not be available, or you may decide we need to try something else because this trailer is not playing well on Friday night.
Yeah.
And bring something else in on the trailer and see what you can do with that, because you're gonna have to be creative and you're gonna have to promote. There's gonna be 1,000 P.T. Barnums running their own independent theaters out there this weekend, trying to sell themselves and bring people into the tent again.
Wow, what a reference.
No.
He was a true showman.
That's what I'm here for.
Showmanship, people. That's what we got to revive. That's what we got to bring back. You got to make it feel like the event it was and it used to be.
Yeah, but do in the way of Hugh Jackman's P.T. Barnum, not the real guy.
No.
Yeah, so create a full-length song and dance.
Yeah.
And then do it before each showing.
Or hire Hugh Jackman. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
Is he available right now?
I'm sure he's not acting in anything.
Sure.
Oh,
All right. Ken, you say whatever you're gonna say.
No, we've got some. The kind of the fun part of this week was we got a lot of trailers.
Yeah.
Like normally we have one or two we talk about,
Right.
and there was a bomb dropped
Yay!
that was full of trailers, which is kind of exciting. It's new
Right.
stuff. Something to get excited about. Nothing with immediate release dates.
No.
Yeah, mostly until December and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still, I don't know. It's still a
gives us some
feels,
hope.
It feels like normalcy.
Yeah, it gives
You
us some
know?
hope that there's going to be some product in the future. The first one that we saw was Free Guy. That trailer was so much better than the first ones we had seen originally about it. It gives a lot more of the behind the scenes story. So, and Ryan Reynolds is always fantastic in that. That's where he plays the video game character, the RPG player. Or is it non-playable NP? I think it's a non-playable player.
He's like a background character in a video
He's
game.
like
and discovers
he's
that
like
he
one of
is
the
one.
people you see when you're walking around as your character.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody, take it down a notch, you giant nerd. Let me see, what's the acronym for this?
I know. I wanted to use
QX
correct
As
terminology.
everyone knows.
QXWVW.
You know, one of those.
He's a WTF.
Yeah. He's a non-playable character in the film or in the game. And he discovers he is, and that he's stuck in this game, and that his whole world is a video game.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Like the trailer is a better one than the first one, though. I enjoyed it enough still. It does tell the story a bit better. Showcases Ryan Reynolds alongside more characters a lot better, I think. Yeah, it looks at least like something different. I haven't seen it kind of in a story like that before, I guess.
No,
And
it's at least
it can be
original.
it can be as creative as it wants, as it's taking place in a video game. So I can be in on this.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds just shines in these trailers. Like he is like maybe one of the best to fit in that 2.5 minute box.
Yeah.
Where he can just one-liners for 2.5 minutes and just really knock it out of the park. And it draws attention. You know, we've been...
And that's still at Christmas, guys. That's still going in
2 weeks
December.
before,
That's right.
Yep. Which is good. We need something fun, something not heavy.
Yes.
I know. If we could get this mixed in with Bad Grandpa in a few weeks in a row, it could be another one of these roadblocks to stop that
Bad
snowball.
Grandpa?
Oh God, War with Grandpa.
Ken keeps
Oh,
calling
God.
War with Grandpa Bad Grandpa
It's the
because they
same-
both had Robert
it's
De Niro in
the same
it.
movie.
Yeah.
How is it not the same movie?
It's just
It's the
it's
same
really
movie.
funny.
It's really funny.
It's really funny every time you mess up.
Oh, I'm going to point out every time you mess up moving forward.
Oh, you do. You
is
do
happening?
already.
Buckle up, folks.
Yeah.
It's coming in hot. No.
You're
we
just
need
confusing the audience.
we just need these to come multiple weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have,
It builds momentum, and that's what we need.
and we need it to not build momentum the other direction.
Right, which is what's happening.
Which is what's happening right now.
Then we checked out the trailer for the 355. That was like a modern female spy.
Espionage.
Action
secret
thriller.
agent. Yep, and Jessica Chastain is in it.
Yep.
And that looked really good too.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed by it. It's the director who also directed that bad X-Men movie, Dark Phoenix. So I was like, I don't know if I want to see him tackle something like this. But no, this does look like not like Dark Phoenix. It looks a lot
Right.
better. Yeah, like you were saying, like it looks cool, looks badass.
It had a Charlie's Angels vibe, but not like goofy and funny and like, haha, we're
grittier, I guess.
Much grittier. It's what Charlie's Angels should be.
We kick butt and we wear leopard bras. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's not that. This is like, I will murder you and not worry about it. And still make my dinner reservation.
I mean, if this year was normal and we saw this in January, we'd be like, holy cow, that actually looks like a good January release.
Yeah.
But since it's coming out possibly in January at a time where we just need movies, we're like, this looks like an Oscar contender. Let's go.
We'll take what we can get. Yeah, exactly.
But it does look really good. I was impressed by it.
Me too. Me too. It was a great action spy thriller movie. Then we had News of the World with Tom Hanks. And
yeah, this is one that hasn't had a whole lot of information on it, but it's been one on our radar because it's Tom Hanks at Christmas.
Right, Tom Hanks at Christmas. It is about a guy who, following the events of the Civil War, takes newspapers around to, like tell everybody the news in these very rural places where people can't read and they don't get information. And along the way, he picks up a little girl and he's making it his mission to return her to her family. But they get attacked and, he becomes a hero. It's awesome.
Of course he does, because he's Tom Hanks.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 16 seconds, but it tells enough of the story, what you need to know really well. It would be a good Christmas movie, I think, to like offset whatever blockbuster like Free Guy,
Right.
Speaking of great Christmas movies.
This one was so surprisingly awesome.
I'm glad you guys showed me this one.
Yeah.
I'm glad we found this.
Okay, let me sell it to you guys. Santa Claus, U.S. government, evil kid, revenge, Mel Gibson.
Murder for Hire, Mel Gibson.
Murder for Hire and Mel Gibson as Santa Claus.
And that's the trailer and the movie.
And the trailer is amazing. Like one of these, it's campy, it's ridiculous, it has violence.
Right.
This
is
humor.
a rated R movie. It's called Fatman from Saban Films. It's got Mel Gibson who plays Santa, but not jolly old Saint Nick Santa, not like beautiful North Pole post with the reindeer and the elves. This is like real world, rural Alaska, like off the grid living. He looks rough. His elves look rough. Everybody's aware of them. The U.S. government's aware he exists, and they ask him to do something special. So you don't know what his mission is. You know it's probably not good if the U.S. government's going to Santa for something secretive. So he's trying to do that. But in the meantime,
he's become a vengeful Claus.
He's a vengeful Claus. He leaves a lump of coal in a naughty kid's stocking, but this kid is so naughty that he immediately hires a hitman to kill Santa. So we've got this element of this hitman going after our gross, grungy Santa Claus. And after watching the trailer, I realized it seems so much like Fargo. And it's got that aesthetic and that humor, that very dark humor to it. So I feel like it's like a Fargo with Santa Claus.
That is a pretty good description of it. That's exactly what I got. I loved every second of that trailer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready for it. I want to watch this.
Yeah, Mel Gibson is still kind of a weird thing to promote.
A little bit of a pariah.
Just like this.
We're not promoting him. We're just saying
but just
it's
this
a good
idea
movie.
that you're talking about Mel Gibson in a movie is just kind of odd. But if you take it as a weird, standalone, dark action comedy, the trailer was great.
It was so good.
Oh, yeah.
This is the movie I need right now.
I know. I've already sent him a request for a screener.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I hope we get one.
Yeah.
And then, so have Fatman on your radar, Saban Films. It might be a really surprise hit. Who knows?
It could fit into one of those boxes like a Bad Santa or a Bad Mom's Christmas where there's some, not necessarily they're the same, but there's going to be some call for adult films.
It's like if Bad Santa met Fargo and then they had a baby in Mel Gibson.
And the baby was Mel Gibson.
And we added a little bit of Mel Gibson juice in there. It looks so good.
Oh, let's move on from that thought.
Yeah, speaking of screeners, Cody, you just were leaping over
Oh yeah.
Bad Fargo, bad Santa conversation.
Yeah.
Something about Mel Gibson's juice.
Terrible
in
pun.
our batter, our Fatman batter. Okay. Yeah. I watched
go
a
on.
screener talk about for an upcoming film that is going to be released in U.S. theaters next week called After We Collided. Or not next week, on the 23rd. Excuse me.
Which,
Day
by
and
the
date with
way,
VOD.
we
Day
could
and
use
date.
assets for.
Yeah.
That would be great.
With VOD.
God.
It's from Briarcliff. Now, I'm going to give Briarcliff a little bit of a pass on this because they have been so good about Honest Thief that that's what their
That's the
main
focus.
focus is
No, that's
right
true.
now.
That's true.
And Honest Thief comes out next week, so they should be getting right on that After We Collided. Now, After We Collided has been out already in Canada. So if you ever see grosses for it anywhere, it has played in Canada in about a little over 200 theaters there. It'll be new to the U.S. market, I think on the 23rd. It is a sequel, as Kyle has kindly pointed out in the
I forgot about that.
before.
Big fan of the original.
I was
there,
like,
Kyle?
oh, this is a sequel, Kyle? He's like, yeah.
Just based on my research, of course.
My own private research.
I haven't watched it 20 times.
The first film is called After, and then this one's called After We Collided. So I don't know if that really makes sense, but that's fine. The first one was put out by Aviron. This one's put out by Briarcliff. It continues the story of Tessa and Hardin, who
Those are their real names in the movie?
In the movie, Tessa and Hardin. And Hardin is a bad boy with emotional issues, and Tessa is his really good girl, and they fall in love, but it's difficult. It's hard to love a bad boy. And there's a lot of naughty sexual relationship scenes going on. And it's just your basic young adult drama. They're in college, so they're young 20-somethings, partying, trying to figure out life with a bad boy, drinking. Yeah. It's just your normal. It's like, I was watching it and it's so close to the storyline of 50 Shades of Grey, but it doesn't have the BDSM scenes in it, and he's not a billionaire. So that's pretty much the only difference in that. She still goes to do an internship at a publishing house. I'm like, because she really loves to read and read the classics.
That is, yeah, that was 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, pretty much.
Based on my research.
I'm still stuck on this guy's name. So basically, they took his role in the movie, replaced the O with an I, and we'll name him Hardin.
Yeah.
Get it?
Pretty much.
Get it?
Oh my God.
It is definitely rated R, but I think for language, the sex scenes in it are very PG-13. You don't see any nudity.
Didn't 50 Shades? No, 50 Shades was PG-13, right?
No, it was
didn't even
R.
have language. It was?
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey was
Yes.
R because of the BDSM scenes in it.
Oh, all
and
right.
there was nudity.
Oh, I
Did
guess there
see-
was.
You
Yeah,
did see
okay.
boobies. You don't
Yeah.
see anything like that here. You
Kyle-
see...
Kyle
Based on my
covered his-
research, that's accurate.
Kyle kept covering his eyes, so he might have missed a few scenes.
You do see one butt. It is his butt, too. So that was...
Hardin's butt?
It is Hardin's butt.
Okay.
You see it for one split second. That's about it.
But we've got something that is doing well in other countries.
That did some business, and it is a sequel. There's a popular book series that it's based off of. So there...
Oh, I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
My research was correct.
Do they-
Off of Wattpad, which is like a... I don't know, like a live journal type website.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
they
I think
have,
it's like some sort of subgenre.
Like these very obscure things to promote the movie with, like trailers or one sheets or images?
I believe we do have all those things
Oh my
on this
gosh.
film.
Well, I sure not have seen them coming through my email. Well, there is a trailer. There is a trailer up.
There's a trailer because I made Kyle watch it. I'm like, what is this, Kyle?
And it was
he
sad,
knew.
though, because the first...
He's like, oh, this is a sequel to one of my favorite movies.
Honestly, it is a little...
Proposal number 1 after number 2.
No, it was a little sad, though, because as soon as the trailer started and I saw the first clip, I was like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah. And I did it. Oh, that is weird.
Just paying attention to the industry, guys.
No,
No big deal.
So that is something we will be booking next week or in 2 weeks in a few locations. I definitely have it penciled in. into some places. I just want to let everybody know about what was in it, so they're not like, oh, this is like 50 Shades of Grey light.
But it was, very serviceable, something that we can put on screen and hopefully draw more of that New Mutants crowd back in.
Right. I just had a hard time because I'm like, oh, to be 20 years old again. I'm like, not in this pandemic. There's just too many things, too many responsibilities. I'm like, I don't want to listen to you guys whine.
I'm in my 20s, and during the trailer, I was like, is this what I was supposed to be doing?
While I was in college?
I don't remember this.
Playing beer pong at a yacht club?
They don't even play beer pong right in the movie. I don't know about you kids, but if you get the pong ball in the cup, you're supposed to take it away and make it harder, not just leave it.
They just leave it. Oh, not even doing it right.
I know.
Kids these days.
It took away from the movie.
Maybe that's how they play it in Canada, where they release the film, is they just leave it there so you keep drinking more.
Well, how do you end the game then?
You don't. You're on a yacht. How does the game stop?
They're in a frat house.
Yeah, I thought it was.
You also can't leave because they lock the door once you come in.
Yeah. But how do you end the game if you don't take away the cups? I don't get it. Kids these days. I don't know. Can't explain it. No.
So I guess before we wrap things up, we want to talk about some changes that we're going to make to Cody's Classic Corner.
Yes. So I thought that it would be really, really fun if we went off suggestions that we got from the audience. So throw out your suggestions in there. We'll pick one of them, and I'll try to watch that movie every week and give you my thoughts on it.
Yeah, we'll be posting all of our episodes on Facebook to begin with. So just leave a comment, give us suggestions. We'd love to hear them.
Yep. I'm not afraid of butts. So if the movie has butts in it, I'm not afraid.
So Mr. Smith Goes to Washington comes to mind. I think that'd be a great one.
Are you just going to give me all the Jimmy Stewart movies? It's becoming a thing. You're making me not like him, and he has like
you already didn't like it. What's the harm?
Star.
You don't like him? Or...
Spot on.
Okay, but we're still going to move forward with Kyle's movies in the same manner. So you have a list. We're going to take suggestions for you from the comments.
Yep, and then we'll announce whose suggestion we took.
I think we're just going to watch it by next Friday. Okay. So we can watch it by next Friday and do it on next week's podcast.
Yeah, we're going to pick it back up.
Kyle needs a movie for this week.
Kyle
that is true.
needs a movie. Where's my list?
While she looks for the list, I believe we're also now going to do this segment every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I can't find the list, Kyle. What'd you do with it? Oh, there it is.
What did you do with
What did you do with the list?
What did you do with Cody's list? You should see what she does to her children. What did you do with my keys?
Were you out driving again?
Yeah. Well, they are in kindergarten, so
it's possible
they're big boys now.
It's possible they could swipe it and go on a joyride.
What'd you do with my cigarettes? Oh, jeez.
I don't smoke, people. I have asthma. That would be so far from what I would ever do.
Child Services doesn't catch this.
There's no smoking in our house.
It might come with questions.
The 5-year-old has a problem.
Stop it. That's your 5-year-old too. Quit talking about it.
He takes after me. It's genetic.
Oh, geez.
Who doesn't like a good heater every once in a while?
Have you seen Detroit Rock City?
No.
That's the one I want you to watch.
Okay. I'll do that.
I feel like that.
Perfect. Hey,
it's like a fun one.
We got it out quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly? That was... I missed it.
Detroit Rock City.
Which one is that?
Which one is that?
Yeah.
That's where he's in high school and he listens to Kiss music, and his mother is really religious and very controlling, single mom, and she calls it Nights in Satan's Service. she tries to take him to like a boarding school, and he breaks out with his friends, and they go to their mission is get to the Kiss concert in Detroit.
So it's a movie based around Kiss's music?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle should love this.
I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it.
I think from like they're in the 70s, is the 80s gear.
You're the one supplying the movies.
Remember.
You should be adequately prepared to discuss the movie.
I just love the mother. Nights in Satan's Service. Kiss.
All right. Yeah. I'll watch that. Let you know what I think.
Kyle's got that,
Yeah.
and Cody's going to watch a movie from your comments.
Yeah.
So
Kind of excited.
lots of butts or Jimmy Stewart, please.
No.
Or both to find out if we can do both. Why not?
There's a Jimmy Stewart butt documentary out there. You can watch.
Ew.
It's all about Jimmy's butt.
Just saggy old man pancake butt. Gross. I don't need to see that, people.
Well, on that note, everyone, thank you for listening to this episode. Feel free to check us out on all podcast platforms and at silverscreeninsider.com, where if you're a movie theater manager, owner, what have you, we have a whole ton of assets for all these many different movies that are coming out.
Right.
So if you just need to find something and just need some materials for it, we'll be there. We got you covered.
Yeah, look at the news page. Or don't look at the news page. Look at everything else.
Look at
Yeah, don't look
everything
at the bad
else.
news. We got some great movies, though.
Yeah.
Should we have an option to sort by good or bad news moving forward?
We maybe should.
We'll add that feature.
I've got
Like
good
called-
news or bad news. Good news only, please.
Yeah. They're called the ignorance filter. I live ignorance is bliss.
I like the ostrich filter where I
Yeah.
put my head in the sand, please. All right, everybody, have a great weekend.
All right. Bye.
Bye.